Do you play second fiddle? Do you personally play second fiddle? Or does your business play second fiddle? Are you the number one go-to business in your industry, in your area, in your niche, in your area of expertise? There is no competitive advantage to being the second least expensive provider in any industry. You're either the lowest or you might as well be the highest, because there's no real, I mean, there's money in the middle. Let's be honest. There's money to be made for everybody. We live in an abundant universe. But if you're looking to be the best at something, the go-to provider, you either want to be the least expensive or probably one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive. Depends on what you do and what you're providing for people and what problems you solve. Now, this expression came about as far back as the 1700s, early 1700s, when orchestras were popular and organized. And there was probably a similar expression before that, but nobody really knows. But in an orchestra, of course, the first violin is kind of the lead, in the hierarchy of the orchestra, the number one position, right? First fiddle which is the first violin, is the number one position. And then the second violin would be the second fiddle. And everybody else in the orchestra kind of has this pecking order of hierarchy in an organization. Not unlike our corporations, not unlike our businesses, not unlike our politics, not unlike our religion, or any organization we belong to. Think student council in high school. You know, they were superior to everyone else. Think teachers. You think in any formal organization, there's like this hierarchy, which is made up, by the way. And we like to think, but we don't like to think. Other people like to think that there's, this power in their position. And just because they're in a certain position, we should, adore them, and that they're better or more valuable than someone else in another position. I don't believe that. I mean, I think that you treat everybody with dignity and respect in the way you want to be treated. And that's, of course, my personal opinion. But I find that served me a lot better than thinking I'm better than anyone else. Because we're really not. We're all human beings. And no human being is more valuable than any other human beings. We are all infinite beings, infinitely valuable, and we're all miracles. So nobody is more valuable than another. And I used to always get in trouble with people because I treat everybody like I want to be treated, and they treat me hopefully the way I want to be treated. And if people treat me in a way that is, downgrading or treating me like I'm inferior, I don't like that very much. And I don't like it when they treat other people that way. It's just why I don't hang out with people that treat other people poorly in any situation. I remember traveling in corporate America, and I would travel as the quality vice president with salespeople to some of our customer sites and locations around the world. And there was one particular salesman who was horrible to travel with because he was just so mean and rude and disrespectful to other people. And he thought that the world should revolve around him. And he treated people in a really rude way. And I just remember traveling with him and dreading every time I had to travel with him, because it was just a matter of time before he was going to be like super rude and disrespectful to somebody that we came in contact with. Not our customers ever, thankfully, because that would have been a big mess for me to clean up. But with just people at the airlines, back then it was taxi drivers. We didn't have Ubers or any Lyfts or anything like that. But just other people, waitresses, people we would come in contact with, just horrible, which, the way we behave always shows the world what we're really made of. And it shows the world who we are, not the person that we're trying to judge or put down. So, do you play second fiddle, not only in your business and in your industry, and that means you're being a follower instead of a leader in some aspect of your business or industry. Now, the cool things about this amazingly abundant world we live in is you can decide what part of and how you're going to determine and shine in your industry. You can just decide maybe you're going to not do anything with respect to price and you're just somewhere in the middle, but your area of expertise is you serve your customers, your perfect customers, the people that are in your world better than anyone else in your industry ever possibly could. And by providing them the best service, solving their problems better, faster than anyone else, always listening to them and being, customer centric, you are number one in your industry from that perspective. Maybe you're not the biggest money maker in your industry. Maybe you're not $1 billion or $1 trillion company, think Apple, but you serve your customers so well that they wouldn't even think of going to another service provider or another company to solve their problems, whether it's products or services or what. So focus on what you can do, what you are capable of, and always compare yourself to you getting better, not to anyone else. And I mean the competition. You can pay attention, you can see what the competition is doing, but if you're copying them or just focusing on them, guess what? You're always following. You are playing second fiddle. So with respect to your customers, just serve them better than anybody else, and you will never play second fiddle. With respect to yourself, just be the best continually improving version of yourself, and you're never second fiddle to anyone, because nobody else can be a better you than you can be, and nobody else can be a better themselves than they can be. And by copying or mimicking or trying to be like someone else, you are just playing second fiddle. So don't play second fiddle today. Be that first violin, and I will, of course, talk to you tomorrow.